Hello, my dears. The day of the Red Velvet comeback finally came, and I absolutely had to make a video about it. I will review in deep only the title Birthday, since I have a lot to say about that alone, and then I will briefly overlook the other 4 songs of the mini album. As always, when I do these types of video, I like to analyze every aspect of the comeback. So I will divide the video in 5 different sections, starting from the concept photos, the song, the MV and storyline, the styling, and finally the B-sides in a nutshell. But before we jump right into it, I just want to explain to you why I was so excited about their comeback. You see, my relationship with Red Velvet is not that smooth. I always say in every video that I am a quite new K-pop fan, and when I discovered K-pop in 2020, Red Velvet were, as we all know, in hiatus due to Wendy's terrible accident on SBS, which, apart from the tragedy alone that could have ended even worse for her, this event also robbed us of the psycho promotions we all deserved, which is a crime of its own. Then, after almost 2 years, Queendom came, and honestly, I think almost everyone will agree that to this date it is for sure their weakest title track, and so not Red Velvet style. I stumbled upon some Queendom performances the other day, and the stages were indeed very pretty, but the song, it could have been so much better. Then it came Feel My Rhythm, which was literally a piece of art and such a unique comeback in every aspect, and it definitely made me spark an interest in them, but unfortunately not enough to stand them. Of course, I knew their red and velvet concepts duality, and of course I listened to some of their previous releases, but they didn't look like my cup of tea, so I didn't even bother to dig deeper. Then, I don't know precisely what happened, but just a couple of months ago or so, I think it was in the middle of the night, like it always is when I have these epiphanies, and I basically watched every Red Velvet MV ever made. And I instantly fell in love. I don't know if it's for their unique sound, this fascinating duality in their concepts, the complex storyline and all the theories that came with it, the genius idea that it's the Rev Festival, the fact that they slay in the same way horror, summer and quirky concepts. I don't know if it's because they are talented as fuck or because their titles are all freaking bops, but I quickly became obsessed. So when they announced their November comeback, you can bet your ass I was freaking excited, especially when they announced that it was another episode of the Rev Festival, which was probably Red Velvet as its best. 3 songs completely different from one another in terms of sound, concept, and even MV and styling, and yet deeply connected to each other and with a strong meaning behind the lines. So I couldn't wait to see what this next chapter of the Rev Festival would have bring to the table, and I was sure that we would have seen again a side of them that was nowhere to be seen in both Queendom and Feel My Rhythm. And I was right. Let's start with the comic The Story of Reve, which was so entertaining and unique, honestly. I saw a few people saying that The Story of Reve probably wasn't linked to their upcoming comeback, and in fact there's no element that we find again in Birthday, but I thought it would have been interesting to briefly mention it. There's a lot we could say about this comic alone, since it basically recaps the majority of the previous title tracks of Red Velvet, even though some big names are missing like Peekaboo and Psycho. The story starts from happiness, of course, but the point of view is from this creature, which is quite obsessed with the girls in a very unhealthy way, let's be honest. Anyway, the topic is all about imagination and thus creativity, which I find it a recurrent theme in Red Velvet music. The funny thing is that it looks that Yeri, which as we all know was added later to the group and appears for the first time in Ice Cream Cake, was created by this creature with like Play-Doh or something, so that was interesting. Anyway, then the mood sampler and the concept photos came, and by then I was obsessed. It was also super cool that the concept photos were called recipes, as in recipes for a birthday cake. The first set of concept photos was insane. Like, them eating and smashing birthday cakes is the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed. Wendy was definitely the one that slayed this first set for me. Like, come on, look at her. I have to say, I was a bit weirded out by these teeth photos. I thought it would be important for the storyline and that it would be included in the MV, but no. Maybe represented only one of them that was about to eat that cake they just made, I guess. Anyway, the second set of photos got me speechless, and the one that slays it the most for me was Joy, my bias. I really liked the fact that every member had a special power, which is something that we see also in the MV, even though very briefly, I should say. And I absolutely adore the fact that everything was pink themed. Their outfits, the vehicles, the gas station, the cartoon effects. God knows I love pink, so I was hoping to see it as a predominant color in the MV too. Spoiler, that didn't happen. Anyway, in retrospect, these concept photos, both the different sets, reflected the concept really well. You could think that I just pointed the obvious, but there is this weird trend in K-pop to make super aesthetic concept photos and then releasing an MV with little to no elements of such concept photos, and for me, that is just pointless and quite frustrating, to be honest, but that's a topic for another day. Birthday exceeded my hopes in every possible way. Everyone knows that you cannot really expect anything from Red Velvet, but as a matter of fact, given the fact that apparently this comeback was in some ways a continuation to the Reve Festival, I was expecting a quirky song, old Red Velvet style, but, refined and polished 2022 version, and, well, they definitely done the job right. I love the contrast between the orchestration and the trap verses. I mean, they managed to make a trap song by sampling a classic song. Who does that, if not Red Velvet? By the way, I'm loving this trend of sampling classic music that is going on in K-pop right now, started with Feel My Rhythm and continued also with Shutdown by Blackpink. Anyway, my favorite part is for sure the pre-chorus, but honestly, I love the chorus and post-chorus as well. It's so fun to listen to. A lot of people said that the chorus is weird, but I mean, for me, it's the perfect chorus for this kind of song. Everything goes super smoothly. I know that vocally is not their most challenging title, but I like the rapped, almost stocked verses. I have to be honest, it's definitely not a song I would have on repeat with my AirPods, but you know what? That's not what I look forward to a Red Velvet song. Birthday, it's fun, it's quirky, and it's very Red Velvet, so I don't know why people are saying that it doesn't sound like their previous releases or that it looks like a song given to rookie groups. This comeback screams Red Velvet in every possible way. I mean, it looks like a mix and evolution of their previous titles at the same time. I see a bit of Zinzalabim, of Oompa Oompa, of Ice Cream Cake, and a bit of Queendom too, all mixed up together in a nice and refreshing cocktail. And I am for sure gonna sip all of the cocktail until the very last drop. The MV was really fun and camp, I would say. The settings were beautiful. I especially loved the one with candies and gingerbread houses on the background, a lot of Christmas vibes. I also found the palette of colors chosen for the MV really nice. Overall, the MV was very well done and aesthetic, but I feel that they could have added more scenes of the birthday party. The cakes and the colorful monsters combined with that dusty and vintage filter would have made it more aesthetically pleasing. Plus, I was loving those pink outfits and those cartoon pink effects and glittery dust that they do when they use their powers. It could have been shown a bit more, especially since the second set of concept photos reflected their aesthetic and was about them having powers. Anyway, I have a soft spot for cartoons, so I was happy that the whole sequence of them fighting the gingerbread man was in cartoons. Overall, the storyline was really cool, and I loved their acting at the beginning when that black creature didn't let them into the birthday party. Especially Irene's facial expressions cracked me up. She would be a great actress for sure, especially because she doesn't have the same versatility in facial expressions on stage. Just saying. Anyway, it was so cool when Yeri mentioned ice cream cake, which is indeed an essential component for a birthday party. So I guess that everything is strictly connected in Red Velvet discography, which, as I said at the beginning, it was something pointed out also in the comic The Story of Reve. In any case, considering how the story of the MV unveiled in the end, you better not uninvite Red Velvet to your party. Finally, there's hope for a good styling in this era, since we all know that styling is not Red Velvet's strong suit. I love good coordinated outfits for a girl group, and we got 2 of them in this MV. One in military green, which wasn't my favorite, but I loved Joy's styling because I definitely have a soft spot for fur outfits, and I am obsessed with Seulgi hairstyle and their pink backpack. So cute. While the other set of outfits, my favorite for sure, is the one black with what look like colorful candies. I know they probably aren't candies, but that's what they remind me of. In any case, it's such a unique styling, which reflects a lot this quirky concept of them, but without being like a punch in the eyes as Zinzala Beam styling was. Guess everyone learns from their mistakes, huh? As I said, I would have loved to see more of those black and pink outfits of the beginning, maybe because I am a sucker for pink, as I already said. Anyway, the makeup too was top tier. I love this one with white pearls for Irene and black ones for Yeri. The nails too, every aspect of the styling and setting was so well crafted and cared for, which is what makes K-pop so aesthetic after all. Also the packaging of the CD with the box as a birthday cake shape. Take all my money, SM, right now. The girls' visuals were immaculate, all of them stood out, and I cannot pick the one that was more gorgeous, honestly. I can't wait for the stage promotions. Fun fact, if they will make their comeback stage on Thursday on Mnet Countdown, as I think, it's gonna be my birthday, just to stay on topic. So I really can't wait to witness them singing "It's your day, it's my day, it's a party party," staring right at me on my birthday. So fun. The overall mini-album is immaculate, honestly. I love the verses of Bye Bye, especially this one.
Love for you, I only have love for you. 외치던 내 뱉어도 넌 세상에 so damn cool.
And all the harmonizations throughout the whole song. Their voices blend so well together is actually crazy. The instrumental of On a Ride was the one used in the mood sample, so it seemed new and familiar at the same time when I listened to it for the first time. The chorus is so fun with those sounds of like chimes. The song too is really very Red Velvet style. Zoom is my favorite B-side of the album. The chorus hits hard. The remember part of the post-chorus reminds me so much of the song of Fame, the movie. Finally, there is Celebrate, which is my least favorite track from the album, but that doesn't surprise me at all since it's a ballad, and as I said a million of times, I generally hate ballads. I don't hate this song at all, their vocals are amazing as always, and it has a nice melody, but it's nevertheless the song of the EP I enjoy the least. And we see the recurring theme of birthday and celebration also in this song. So overall, I like this EP a lot. There isn't a single song that I disliked, and I would say is my perfect first comeback as a Revlove. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, this concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like and subscribe if you want, and see you in the next one. Bye!